Alright, so we should now be live. I'm gonna give it just like a minute or two to kind of catch up. Looks like may just need a refresh, so I'm gonna pop that real quick before I get started. Alright. Alright, so first and foremost, I want to come over and show off the rack. You guys can see it in one of the other cameras I have set up right here. I'm about to walk in front of it. Rack. We've got only a few of the systems online. I actually added just these three systems yesterday. These are the two 3750s, and this is another HP DL380 Gen 6. These two DL380 Gen 6s are running right now as host 02 and 03, and then I have a 3650 which is running as my host 01. Host 01 actually is where like PF Sense, I have some Kemp load balancers I mess with, and a few different like web services and such that I actually use on this. Above that I have my Dell R510, and above that I have another Dell R510. The very first one right here is my Bodhi FreeNAS. This is my FreeNAS server that actually these three hosts, and here hopefully soon I'm going to get rid of this 3650, use the 3 HPs as my main core, and then the 3750s will be my VDI / render farm. I do like VDI a lot. I've been trying to train myself and get certified in that, so that's where these guys come in, and then I can host everything else. And then my wife and other, I do have two other roommates that I live with that are all in IT, so we all just sit here and we mess with this, figure out, cool things that we want to do, and we actually try to kind of break things. And then at the very top, we actually, I know some people don't like this, but we have a physical vCenter that actually runs Rapid Recovery 2 from Quest, and that actually provides our backups for this right now. So this system at the very top is a physical Windows box that is going ahead and backing up all of our VMs and such on this. Well, all of our Windows VMs, I don't have PF Sense or anything backed up, but I do back up the configuration files for it. I'm going to come back around over here and actually see. I should probably update my post, I guess, on Reddit, that I'm live now. Alright. This one up here, as you guys can see me, this is my webcam on my system. Let me know if you guys see anything wrong, if there's anything weird going on with the bit rate, if you guys have any bad audio, if I'm too loud, anything like that. And also, I do have the AC on. I've been trying to keep it quiet, but, it's not always like that. Alright. I'm on Reddit real quick, just updating a few things. Alright. Alright, so first off, I'm actually going to open up vCenter. I'll show you guys around our vCenter. Hopefully there's nothing too incriminating on it that'll be shown off. Yes, I do use trial versions a lot. I like to keep reinstalling, so about every 60 days, basically I'll end up reinstalling my host, my vCenter, all that stuff. It keeps me on my toes. I also switch between versions, between 6.0, 6.5, and I'm actually debating right now. I am on 6.0, as you can see I'm using the vSphere client. I'm actually debating on updating to 6.5 and then 6.7, but I'm not sure if I want to put it in production. One sec, I'll swing the camera around. I do want to, over here I do have a system at my workbench real quick. Let me. So over here I do have an R410 that I do plan on using. And with this R410, I'm probably going to go ahead and try out 4.7 ESXi, and I may install, a virtual vCenter install. sorry, 6.7 on that and see what happens. But I'm not completely sure yet. Haven't decided since it did just come out, what, I think 2 days ago now. So we'll see what happens. Let me go ahead and put this back on the rack. And so just real quick, I'm talking, I wanted to talk about different things in the rack, where stuff can go. All right. I'm on vacation and I've got people messaging me. Not worried about it though. So I'm trying to debate on where I want to move my rack. I don't know if you guys saw as I pan it back over, I actually do have a washer and dryer next to it, and my hot water heater's behind it. The rack is off the ground, which is nice, but I don't like how its heat exhaust blows on all that stuff back there. It creates a lot of heat. There's a few different options I have. I haven't decided if I want to stick it actually over here to my right, where I have a white table and such like that, but I've got to run electricity, which I actually already do have to run electricity. It's one of the main issues I'm running into with these 3750s. They've got dual 1400 watt power supplies, and I'd prefer 220 if I could, but doesn't mean I'm always going to get it, so we'll see what happens from there. Because that really plays a big deal. I do have a garage, four-car detached garage, and I thought about turning part of two of it into a data center / lab studio area. I haven't really thought about it, but I haven't put too much thought into it. It already has 220. It has 100 amps dedicated, sub panel that's already broken up that I could actually do a lot of things with. So I'm also leaning towards that, but I've got to work through some things to figure out if that's what I'm going to want to do. And if I do that, I'm going to end up moving a lot of my stuff out there, the systems, the rack, a lot of that, and making this more so our game room. And that I'm okay with that. That gives me more area to do things in here. So we'll see what happens. But going over things, this is our vCenter off to the left. As you can see, I have a bunch of different resource groups broken up. I've got Allie, that's my wife. She has her own little resource group that she's built her own domain controllers. I then have BodyTX. It's one of my main companies I have, and it's got all of everything I use in there. I've got my Git repository. There's a MPS server that controls radius for the house. I have different wireless, and one of my roommates, Sean, actually here helps manage a lot of the wireless and takes care of the MPS and radius servers. I have Exchange, I have DHCP, there's a DFS server, my 2 domain controllers. I have an SQL server that vCenter uses. There's Redmine, and then I have an RDS server. I have my Bodhi VDI. I just actually started rebuilding it. I kind of got rid of everything since I got these 3750s, and I still have my Composer and Connection servers. Those also use SQL, so that's all set up using that single SQL server. And then below that, you'll see Brody, one of my other roommates, Brody. He has his own resource group, and he's got a single DC made right now. And below that, you'll see is the channel is what I'm working on right now in the shadow. And it's got a 7 Days to Die server, which that's actually what we play a lot here. It's open to the outside world, just so you guys know. If you ever want to connect, let me know. I also have a Dark and Light server, which I know that game's dying, but I've kind of just left it on and left it running because I think it's kind of cool. I enjoy the game. I think it's got a lot of potential. We'll see what happens. And then below that, there's the Office Network, and that Office Network is just basically runs here on the office. So just so you know, each one of these resource groups, the reason they're named the way they are is because if I actually go over here and we look at the host and configuration tab, I actually have VLANs set up and vSwitches set up for each of my different networks. So we have our main management networks, and we have our other LANs or VM networks, but we have Brody's network here, which is VLAN ID 47. We've got Office network, which is VLAN ID 21, and the shadow, which is 22, ITS, which is running on in the shadow, Bodhi VDI 24, Allie's network 158, Bodhi TX 23. There's also another one. There's also 20. 20 is iSCSI. If you go down here, let me show you. But it doesn't actually have a VLAN ID. These are direct connect. The VLAN ID is only, I haven't even set that up. I've thought about adding iSCSI. I do have a separate switch that runs my iSCSI and another one that runs my networks, and I've actually thought about creating a link between the two, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to put that type of traffic on my main switch. I kind of like it doing what it's doing, layer 2 and layer 3, and just handling it. Takes care of it. I do have a issue here. I believe This is the second time. I just reinstalled E6i recently on this, and now it looks like the USB is failing once again, so I'm probably going to have to take this host out. That's another reason. So when I do redo the rack here soon, which there'll be plenty of videos coming up with that, when I redo the rack, I'm planning on actually going to have to replace that USB, and there'll be a few other things. Everything's actually going to be taken out of the rack. I'm going to have to remove everything. We may do it this weekend. I don't know. It all depends on what the roommates want to do, too, because it's really nice having their help. I'm not going to lie. It kind of sucks having to do everything yourself. So I really like that I can have help, especially for my wife and roommates. So we'll probably end up actually taking down the whole entire rack. We're going to tear everything out of it. That includes the 3750s and the other HP I just installed. Probably completely bare bones it, get rid of all the cables, everything, figure out where we're going to put it, install the electrical, and then from there, that's one of the things I want to figure out is how I'm going to actually rack everything. I have a DS3524 that I'm going to be hooking up via SAS that puts it in JBOD mode. And just so you know, JBOD means just a bunch of drives, which allows it to then just interface with each drive directly, like FreeNAS likes it. I've heard some rumors that it's not good to use other drives besides IBM in the IBM DS3524s. I've had success. You just have to use CLI to actually wipe it and make it configurable for the device once it's done like that. I haven't had any issues. I know support doesn't support it, but none of my stuff has an actual warranty on it. A lot of it's out of date and old and refurbished, so not really worried about it. I'm just going to kind of run my own stuff. They are enterprise class drives, so it's not like I'm running some cheap desktop drive inside my DS3524. It's just not IBM branded. So I do want to put those in there. I do want to get that hooked up to FreeNAS, so that way I'll have an additional 20 300 gig drives and an additional 4 2 terabytes. So that'll put me at a total of 12 2 terabyte drives in RAID 10 and 20 300 gig 15K drives in RAID 10. I know you're probably asking why everything RAID 10. I'm a big fan of the higher IOPS, faster speed and redundancy, and there's a 1-for-1 drive ratio. So that's my plan. I like to do it like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing for FreeNAS, and then I'm going to be using iSCSI with a quad NIC adapter, creating 4 different NICs that'll be used for iSCSI to all my different hosts, and I'll have 5 different hosts. Those will be the 5 HPs. So what I'm thinking is I'll be having my UPS unit at the bottom, the APC, I believe that's a 1500. I'd like to get a 2200 rack. I do have a 2200 tower. That's one of the reasons I got to redo some electrical here in this room. That's why I have to figure out what I'm going to do, because I don't know if you notice this is solid brick behind me, so this is kind of not, I don't know. Got to figure out what I'm going to do for running power over here, because I do want to hook up this 2200 I have. I do need a NEMA 20 plug for it, so that, I've got only a NEMA 15 over here, and I've got these two 1500s plugged into it, and I'm already feeling like I pushed that plug already hard enough. So that being said, I want to get the 2200 over there. I wish I had a rack mount 3000. I'm going to probably just have to make use with the 2200 and the rack mount 1500 for now, which that's completely okay. I may not be able to fire up everything till maybe I get another 2200 or another 3000, but that's all right. We'll cross the bridges as we come to it. I'm going to pull everything out, rack everything, get everything nice. I do have a PDU also, and I do have a temperature monitoring. Actually, I'm going to go get that. That thing's pretty cool. I have a temperature monitoring device I'm pretty excited about putting in from APC. Oh, there I go dropping things. Luckily, it's just the front of the APC, so I'm not worried about it. This thing's pretty cool. So this is actually a APC monitoring device. So if you see right here, this is actually what does the temperature sensing and such. And on the back here, it's got a network plug right here. You can see allows you to plug in a network. It's just a 10Y100. You don't need anything else. It does have some user contact input, so you can do some other things. It's got some pretty cool. Not sure. I haven't really looked in what this A-Link is, so this relay output or alarm beacon, but it's pretty interesting. And then you've also got another probe. So right now, this is actually only a single probe on here. I actually have room if you check right there. There's actually room to stick another probe. So I'm pretty excited about this. This will be pretty cool to set up, especially get alerts and such with temperature and with the AC going and all that, and especially with summer coming up. That's going to be quite interesting. I'm not excited about the power bill, but shit happens. All for the quest of knowledge, huh? All right. Let me scroll on down here. So there is a host. You're probably, I don't know if anybody had noticed yet, but there is a third host. I don't have it in here, and that's because it uses a free license. That's my .41. That's the IBM 3650 M3. That's because it runs FreeNAS. It runs a bunch of things. I don't really want to wipe it. I don't want to touch it. I kind of like how it is. So just kind of leave it, and I manage it through a free client, which works perfectly fine for me. And it gets its internet from AT&T. It goes actually from their firewall into my host, and then from there, the host only allows pfSense to interact with that vSwitch. And pfSense then uses another NIC and passes it over and allows all the systems to connect together. Passes it over to the switch, the Cisco switch. All right. Bringing up a few more things real quick. Uh-oh. One sec. I think I hear a dog at the door. Grab a drink, too. It looks like my wife may be remoted into her computer. Nope, no dogs at the door. All right. You know what? I guess just for giggles, let's go ahead and let's install I'm gonna install 6.7 over here onto this R410. Just want to check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and actually have to shut off one of my cameras. Its battery is going low. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna see if I can switch this over. I know it's not the best view, but let me see what I can do for you guys. All right. So hopefully you guys can see me. I got the R410 back here. I'm going to go ahead and actually install 6.7. So let's go ahead and find it. VMware ESXi 6.7, right? No, we don't want the release date. I want it. We already know it's out. Come on now. There we go. We go ahead and log in. Let's get the trial. Will they not let me get 6.7? Might have to sign in with a different account. That's interesting. So is 6.5 U1? That looks like that is 6.7. Well, I guess we'll check it out then. Let's see if this is true. All right. Go ahead and make this a little bit smaller so you guys are able to see what's going on too. So I got the package downloading. I'm gonna go ahead and got a USB here. I'm gonna end up wiping. We could put, we'll use Rufus to go ahead and install that ISO. Ooh, a bunch of things popped up there. That's always fun. All right. Looks like it's getting done. I'm gonna go ahead now and go ahead and get Rufus going. So there's our update 1. We're going to go ahead and get that downloaded. I still want to figure out, so is U1 that, I mean, do you see this here? Does anybody else, like, I'm trying to figure out if this makes sense. Download VMware vSphere Hypervisor. Okay, yeah, got that. But I guess now what I'm trying to figure out is, I mean, that's the right release date and everything. I guess 6.5.0 U1 is 6.7. That's what I'm understanding from this. What up, Ziggy from Home Lab? I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm interested to see whenever I boot up the R410 if it's actually going to say that it's that, or if it's 6.5 U1. And when it gets into vSphere, when I go into the web client, what's it going to say? Is it 6.5 U1 or is it going to be 6.7? I'm very interested. But over here real quick. Oh, looks like Rufus is done. Let me check it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this USB. But over here real quick, we've got a R410 with dual 5520s. I know, nothing that special. And looks like four 4-gig sticks. So it looks like we got 16 gigs of RAM. We'll go ahead and get some power plugged into this guy. Sorry if it's a little loud over the mic. Let me know if I need to mute it. Uh-oh. I think I hear somebody's here. 1 second while that boots. Nope, just a dog laying up against the door. Uh-oh. This KVM's a little wonky at times. I don't know if you guys saw that screen going a little crazy there. It does some crazy things. Alright, so interested to see VMware vSphere Hypervisor E6i 6.7. But it says it's 6.5.0 U1. So we're going to go ahead and let's get into this BIOS boot manager here. F11. That's what I just pressed. So I'm going to get this in. We'll get this installed. We'll check it out. Everybody who's watching, if you guys have any thoughts or what you think it means about this, it showing 6.5 U1, it being 6.7. If anybody's used 6.7 yet and has thoughts on it and what they think of it, I know there's not too many changes, but I know there's some, especially some big fixes. And I also was reading somewhere that this is actually the last version that will support vCenter for Windows. I haven't got confirmation on that yet, but I really want to actually check it out, because if that is true, that could be very interesting. Looks like my iDRAC's not responding on this, so it's going to reboot. But I don't know how many of you actually use the vCenter for Windows or how many of you use vCenter Appliance, but vCenter for Windows is actually very, a lot of enterprises use that, such as what I do here is I have a physical Windows box that not only runs my vCenter, but it also runs my backup solutions and such. So I wonder if their plan is just to make everything virtualized. So then you'll actually just run your backup systems virtualized, and you'll be using iSCSI directly to those devices, or what their plan is, or if you're just going to have a physical backup device, or if you're going to be doing offsite cloud, backup. I wonder what their plan is with that, especially if they're going to make everybody go to the vCenter appliance. I really do think that's an interesting concept, to push the vCenter appliance and not have Windows. Alright, we got this rebooting. I'm going to go ahead and push F function 11. Got to push F in on this stupid keyboard because, although I shouldn't say it's stupid, this keyboard's actually really nice. It's got the touchpad and everything. I mean, look at that. It's really nice. I complain about it all the time, but it's nice. At the same time, I guess it makes me a jackass. Not sure. We have a closet back here I'm going into real quick called Radio Shack. I'm just making sure that there's nothing else that is needed for this. Oh, look at that. Already ready for me to choose a device. May help if I plug the device in, right? You know what? Actually, hold on. Let's do this right. So actually up here on the top of this, I don't know if you guys have seen some of my other videos, but on the top of this R410, there's actually a really nifty slot. We can go ahead and actually pop the USB inside the case. And with E6i, if you've watched some of my install videos before, it actually fully loads up into the RAM. So since we're actually taking advantage of that, by putting the USB on the inside, we'll load the E6i installer into the RAM, continue the installer, and we'll tell it to install back onto the the flash drive. I'm thinking SD card because that's what I'm used to doing for our production machines. But for this instance, we'll be installing back on the USB. Take a look and see if vCenter has any updates. This is interesting. Okay, so that's download VMware. Let's check out vCenter 6.7. No, that's not what I want. Oh, there we go. I guess that is what I want. So there's the appliance and there's the vCenter. You know what? I'm going to download both. Can I get the trial, please? So let's go ahead and download the modules for Windows, and then I guess that's what we'll just leave it at. We'll give it a shot. I let this go a little too far. I was too caught up in looking at 6.7 for... Let's see here. vCenter 6.7 last for Windows. See what comes up. I want to look more into that and see what the truth about that is. I got to look back at that blog that I was looking at earlier. Just wait for the system to reboot. We can get in, we'll try out 6.7. I'm going to guess there's nothing different with the installation process, at least I hope not. And take the battery out of this camera and get it charging while this is booting. Hopefully I recognize when it goes into... Oh, look, there it is as I'm trying to get the camera off, of course. Oh, didn't want to attempt Pixie boot. They just want you to enter BIOS, please. Let me set that off to the side. Plug this guy in. All right. Now that's charging. We can come over here. See the hard drive down at the bottom? We're going to go ahead and pick the internal USB flash drive. We're going to boot 6.5, which is interesting because they're calling it 6.5, but they're calling it 6.7. I mean, that's what it says right here. 6.5U1. Now, what's interesting, I wonder if the upgrade path is still straight for like vCenter and ESXi. I'm wondering if you can go from 6.0 up to 6.5, or if you can go, from 6.0 up to 6.7 to 6.5U1, or if it's going to be a stepping stone. I'm going to check into that. One of my HPs over here, this is 6.0. I'll have to step up to 6.5, or just try stepping up straight up to 6.5U1 and see if there's any issues, because it's going to be good to know for whenever we have production systems. Is right now we have a lot of systems we're trying to take up from 5.5. I don't know if you guys know, but 5.5 is actually being sunset here soon, where it's no longer to be supported at all by VMware. So basically, you need to be on 6.0 and above. Any version of 5, anything later than that, is no longer going to be supported for them. So that's going to cause a lot of issues for anybody that's not been wanting to update or get a service contract or any of that. Now it's kind of crunch time, because after this, they're not really going to support you. If something breaks, they're just going to kind of shrug at you. So we're letting this go ahead and boot up. As before, actually looks like we got two 5620s and 16 gigs of RAM. In this system. All right. Well, looks like this is done too. We may end up installing that here in a bit on the on my vCenter server. Can always wipe it again, right? That's what it's about with home labs, huh? Build it up, make something cool. I mean, I understand we got some things in production like Plex. Nobody likes to erase their Plex. No one wants to lose all their Plex data or pictures or things like that. Completely understand. But then we probably have those other machines where we're like, oh, we can just tear it apart and redo it again. There's probably been plenty of times you put together a Windows system, you got it all booted up. Probably any system, it doesn't just say Windows. Get it all together, power it up, and you're like, oh, it's acting wonky. I'm going to reinstall Windows. Don't lie, we've all done it. We've all been there where we're like, you know what, I should reinstall. That's what it is. Then we reinstall and everything's fixed, and we're not sure what exactly happened because the reinstall went exactly the same as it did the first time, the last time, but yeah. Such is the life of IT. Alright, looks like we're getting ready to install here. Now, as I was saying before, that whole time what it was doing there is it was loading. It was actually loading the whole ESXi installer into the RAM for the device, so that way we can actually then install into the USB. So just as we just selected the USB from the beginning in the BIOS boot menu to boot up off of it, loaded everything in RAM, we can now choose that same USB to install on. Which is kind of pretty interesting. So we're going to go ahead and let it scan. It's going to gather its information. It's going to realize that nothing's been installed on it before. Now, one of the nifty things is with ESXi, sorry, talking over myself, is that it can actually be used, or sorry, upgraded from a USB. So if it did have a ESXi installation on it, say we had 6.0 on it, it would actually come up asking if we want to install over it and do a fresh install, or if we actually want to upgrade the install. A lot of times, especially in production systems, you want to do an upgrade. You don't want to wipe it, because then you got to reset all the V switches, you got to reconfigure everything. It's just, yeah, it's a pain. So it's better just to click upgrade, let it do the upgrades that it needs to. That way it keeps your configurations in there. There's nothing to worry about. Thanks for the sub, guys. Alright, so I actually just got an interesting warning. So when I installed the original version of 6.5 on this and 6.0, I never got this warning. So I have a warning right now. It's got CPU warning, or sorry, CPU support warning. This CPU and this host may not be supported in future ESXi releases. Please plan accordingly. So it looks like maybe in 7.0, guys, maybe even after that, that these 56, what was this? This was 5640, I think, or 5620, is not going to be supported anymore. So people, like us who use home labs, just remember it looks like possibly with this older technology, just as before, we're not going to be able to use it on the oldest hardware. Can't have our cake and eat it too, I guess. So it is installing as 6.5. All right. I'm very interested to see once I log in and see what vSphere, the website, says. The web client, I really do feel like it's going to end up saying 6.7. I'm hoping. I know it'll show the proper build number, but I just want to see when, let me see if I can bring it up on mine. When you're selected on a machine right here, it tells you what version you're on. I'm really wanting to see if it shows 6.5 or if it shows 6.7 when I get in there. Now this is the longest part of ESXi, probably is the install. I mean, the configuration really isn't that hard, setting IP, setting DNS, things like that. Not that big of a deal. But the install just sometimes can take forever. We'll let it do its thing. So I'm going to check my phone real quick, make sure I haven't missed anything too crucial. And check on my wife and make sure she's doing good. Get a drink real quick. All right. Yeah, now you've probably noticed I have a lot of different equipment. This is just random. A bunch of it's real old. I'm kind of a hoarder, I guess you could say, when it comes to computer equipment. Ask my wife, she'll probably tell you the same thing. Ask my roommates, they'll probably tell you the same thing. I've got more of it probably than I know what to do with, but I really like to use it. It's a lot of fun just to have it and just be like, you know what? I have this one-off project. I don't really care if it succeeds. I just kind of want to see what it does, and I'm going to throw it on this old, T410 or, this old PowerEdge 2950. So it's one of the main reasons I keep around all of this old equipment. I try to keep what I enjoy, running in the stack. Our stack does run 24/7. Our host, actually, that may be something interesting to look at while I wonder how long these bad boys have been online lately. I know it's got to be over 60 days. Let's see here. I'm not seeing it here. It's underneath performance. Let me see if I can pull it up in one of the web GUIs. All right. All right. There we go. Either's way. So we've got 29 uptime on that guy and 12 on this guy. Yeah, I reboot. I do a lot of things pretty often. Probably more than I should, but I'm not really worried about it. This ESXi install is taking its time, though, isn't it? I wonder how long. Let's see here. Let's check out the compatibility guide. So we've got 6, 7. So here's all the accepted. So interesting. It does. I actually have a i7 970, and I actually am wondering because I've seen the second generation here. I see the Intel i3 2100. I'm wondering. And I don't see the i7. Very interesting. So, hmm. Kind of now want to see if it'll support on the i7 970. That'd be a very interesting thing to check out. I wonder if it'll even let me install, because if this one gives the support warning and this one's not seeing it here, so it makes me think. So, but what's the difference? So look, here's 6.5U1, and when you go back here, look. What? 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 What's it? VMware, I swear. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out when we get in, when we boot it. Something interesting. Like I said before, guys, if the voice is messed up at all, if the AC is too loud or anything, if there's just too much noise, let me know. I can scale back the mic. I can turn down some things. Thanks for joining me in the lab today, guys. Breaking stuff and checking out 6.7. I really wish I could get the GoPro to live stream. That'd be interesting, but it is what it is. And I'm sorry that the Canon died. I don't have an actual AC battery hookup for the Canon. So since I don't have an AC battery hookup for it, I gotta kind of rely on its battery, and that's all right though. We got the webcam still at least. We got the headset, so I'm happy with that. We're checking out 6.7. I'm interested if it's gonna run on that i7 or not. So I do have a super micro out in storage. It's got an i7 970 and 24 gigs of RAM, and really got me tempted now. And this install is almost done. We're at 75%. Then once it gets done, it'll ask us to reboot. We'll go ahead and reboot it, and then we'll hop in the web client and check it out, see what's there. See if it actually shows 6.7 or if it's going to show us 6.5, because I mean, it says 6.5 U1 here, it says it's 6.7, but you go to compatibility guide and you got this. That That's right. It's new. We'll give them benefit of the doubt, right? And you've been on 75% for a while, Mr. R410. Kind of scaring me. Let's see here if there's anything. I've not checked Reddit since I've started. See if anybody said anything. Probably not. All right. Have you even checked it? Is the R410 finally finished? Now when I turned my back, did it finish finally? No. Still 75%. It's just gonna watch. It's just gonna boom, done. I'm like, oh. Such is with technology, right? Oh, look, no. Jump to 86%. Okay. All right. 90. This is good. This is good. Let's keep it going. All right, there we go. We're going to go ahead and reboot. And let the system reboot. It should boot into E6i. Let me plug my phone in because it's at 10%. I'm dying. Let me go ahead and push in this chair so it doesn't block the view too much. I forget, when you got a CD-ROM drive and you install ESXi, for some reason it always kicks it out. I mean, it's nice of them, don't get me wrong, but I mean, how many of you have actually installed ESXi on a CD in the last year? I mean, that's going to be impressive if you've actually burned a CD or DVD instead of using a flash drive. It's very impressive because I don't know but anybody who just keeps, you know, CDs and DVDs around. I used to a long time ago, but no. I got a drawer full of flash drives, you know. Got a bunch of those. But no, not CDs. Not CDs, no. Not here. No way, no how. Not never. Alright, gonna let that boot. I'm gonna put up my H1 zoom. I was gonna try to use it for audio, my little H1 zoom, but it's not actually as good as this mic, especially for moving around and having to do things and trying to talk. No. Alright, we'll let that go ahead and keep booting. We're debating on if I should go grab that Super Micro or not. I actually kind of want to go grab it and maybe try 6.5 and see if it gives me a whole different error just saying not supported CPU. It'd be very interesting. Alright, there we go. E6i is finally loading. Go ahead and click enter to buy us those few precious seconds back. Really lost from that long install. Alright, come on ESXi, let's get loaded. Let's get an IP address from DHCP. Yeah, see, that first bar is just a teaser bar. That's it loading the loading bar. This is actually the one that you want to worry about. So 5620s, I don't even actually see. Let me try Control F in this. All right, so do we see 5620? I don't see 5620 anywhere, but okay. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I see down to the 2100 series, but I don't know. I feel like this chart's not fully giving me everything. What up, Mike from Home Lab? Welcome, everybody, from our home lab. My other home, basically. I'm not here. I'm there. or our VMware. I have a lot of fun there. All right, sweet. And look, we got a DHCP address, so let's go ahead and let's check it out. Let's make sure I remember the proper password that I set whenever I got onto it. So what is that? 10.0.21.56. All right. Not worried about either of those. So what we are worried about is what version is this? What? So it is 6.5. So look right here. Boom. 6.5. This one's a different one. Hold on, guys. That's interesting. So I've got that. So you're sending me back, and I don't think something's working right, guys. I really don't. Hmm. All right. Well, interesting. I guess I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research and actually figure out because I'm not sure if the links are broken or what. But I mean, I see E6I67 here, but it won't let me download it. Hey, that's a 6.7 download. Hold on, we may have found something here, guys. Let's see if we can get the there's an HP or. And of course I have a Dell. Of course I have a Dell out right now. I mean, I guess I could pull out. Son of a. Hmm. Let's see if we can find a Dell E6i 6.7. It does not look like there is one. Of course, Dell, you're behind the times. Damn it. Hmm. Well, I guess on that note, guys, I'm going to have to call the stream for right now. I'm going to have to pull out a Lenovo box, all that stuff. I do thank everybody. It looks like I've been streaming for almost an hour. I do thank everybody for stopping by, everybody who's subbed. If you guys want to go ahead and haven't subbed yet, go ahead and click sub, follow over there. I do have some other videos I'm going to be working on. I do have how to upgrade vCenter. I'm going to be doing how to upgrade ESXi via USB, how to upgrade ESXi from a remote access console, and also how to upgrade ESXi from vCenter itself. So stick around, watch the channel, sub if you're excited about seeing those videos. I'm going to be having a lot of that come out. But for now, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, these are for only the Gen 9 Plus, so that's going to be interesting. Very interesting here. So, this file name. But I really don't want to call it, guys, but I'm going to have to because I can't get this thing to download, and I got to put a... I mean, let me see what that's going to work, because I don't have a Gen 9. I don't have a Gen 9 HP on me, but I do have, a Lenovo system that may work. Let me see what I can do. Hold on. Let's shut this guy down. Alright, so this is a 3650 M4. We're going to go ahead and try to update to 6.7 off of that Lenovo image I just downloaded. But before that, before I do anything crazy... ooh, this one only has a single power supply. I forgot that other one failed. It's one of the reasons it's not being used. Let me go ahead and check everything in here. So we do have this 2 CPU still, so have that. So it looks like we're going to need 8 sticks of RAM. So I'm going to go back over here to what I was referring to earlier, Radio Shack. And you know what? Let's go big or go home. Let's grab some of these 16 gig sticks back here. I'm going to go ahead and install 8 16 gig sticks. That should be more than enough to get us going, I think. Especially since we're technically not actually doing anything on here. Alright, just getting these popped in. There's 3 more left. Sorry guys, I wish I had a better shot, but my webcam's kind of stuck where it's at, and the other camera died, so do apologize. Alright, so we've got our sticks of RAM in. Let's go ahead and close this guy back up. We'll grab the lid. And actually, you know what I've decided? I think I can do this. Let me check. Let's see what I got over here. Yep, that's what I thought. Pop in 270 750 watt power supplies just to make sure we got redundant power. And you know what? Pop in some internet. Pop in our KVM. Now, let's go back to what we were doing earlier. I need to get another USB. Let's use an IBM USB with an IBM, right? Not a bad idea. And there goes all those. Welcome, guys, from Home Lab. It's great to have you guys here. So just to give you guys a recap, this whole stream, we've been trying to basically take a look at 6.7. It was kind of hard for me to find a download. I did find a custom Lenovo X system that I was able to get downloaded in 6.7. We did find a weird page. I don't know if anybody's still here from the beginning and saw that. But if we go back, let me see if I can bring this back up now that I have it downloaded. It was very interesting. We had it saying 6.5U1, but it was trying to tell us that it was 6.7 at the same time. I downloaded that, and once I got it installed, I actually realized, and we got it open over here. I still have this cached. It was not 6.7. So went and got one of the System X's that I have, and we're going to go ahead and actually install 6.7 on that. So let's go ahead and get this Rufus drive going. All right. Uh-oh. I wonder if this drive's going bad. Some of these are old. All right, there we go. It's all for test anyways. All right. Did it already finish? Wow. All right, let's go ahead and pop this out. I'm not going to get all crazy with putting it on the inside of this one. This is more of just kind of want to mess around with 6.7. Now, bringing back up that CPU error I got earlier on 6.5U1, that's interesting. So I wonder if that means that it was talking about 6.7 here. It's very possible, but it's, you know, I don't know. I guess we'll find out if this 6.7 is actually going to support. Was this it? And then I click download trial right here, and that's where it takes me. Manually download. Okay, so that. Oh, no. That is 6.5. Yep. All right, so we got this IBM initializing behind me. We'll get it to go ahead and boot from USB. Texting my wife and making sure she's good. She's about to be getting off work soon. She's not been feeling well. She's had strep, or starts a strep. My daughter got strep. She's home right now. I'm taking care of her. And now my wife possibly has it. So I'm just trying to stay healthy, trying to keep active, do things such as videos and other things. Outside, I was trying to do the garden, but realized I'm going to need probably more of a heavy piece of equipment to get done what I'm trying to get done with, removing some concrete and rebar and such. All right, this thing's taking its sweet time initializing, isn't it? It's going to keep letting it do its thing. All right, there we go. Connecting boot devices and adapters. Such is the life of home labs, waiting for systems to boot. You know, get to that point where you can just press a single button and then wait some more, right? Yeah, IBM's, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they have just a bunch of self-checks or what, but they are probably one of the most slower booting systems. Dell seem to be pretty fast, but I'm not going to lie, I've had a lot of issues with Dells. I haven't had too much with IBM or HP. Both have been really good to me. Dell support's been great too, so I can't really complain. It's just I've had a lot of hardware issues. All right, finally synchronizing boot order list. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger for you guys. I don't know if it'll help anything. So you guys just don't have to look at a web page most of the time. I'm interested to see, though, if 6.7 will even install on this, considering I got that CPU alert on the 5640s. And I think these M4s are just a generation newer, just a single, so we'll see if 6.7 is going to want to install on here. Recalibrating system power. All right. There we go. We got the installer booting, so we're about to find out whether or not it's going to be supported. This would be interesting. Joe, I'm actually loading E6i 6.7 on a IBM 3650 M4. And I actually just got done installing 65U1 on a R410. It was giving me a CPU support error saying that this CPU no longer was going to be supported. So I'm interested to see if that same support error gets thrown on the IBM, or if it is supported, or what it even meant by that support error. Because we did try to look up the matrix over here. We were earlier trying to just take a look at some of these systems for 6.7 and what's available. So it's very interesting. I wish I could find a Dell 6.7 because I really want to try it on the R410 to see if it does it. So we've got E5 2620s. I wonder if we can find 2620 available on here. I don't see a 2620. So I guess we'll find out. Although I do have a little bit of trouble at times with their compatibility matrix. Yeah, IBM's, they're not too loud, actually. I think this Dell R410, that's why it's my lab machine. It's probably my loudest thing, my 1U. I'm actually standing in front of the lab right now. And yeah, I'd probably have to say probably my loudest machine is probably my 3650 M3 out of all my machines. My HPs are probably some of my quietest. My three G6s. And my SANs, I'm actually, that's actually what's kind of keeping me from not wanting to install my SANs again, is because the DS3524 is just so loud. And right now I've just got an R510 running with FreeNAS. The SANs aren't hooked up via JBOD, but they're so loud compared to this R510. It's so quiet. It makes me not want to install the SANs again, just because on the sheer noise alone. All right, so we've got dual E5 2620s at 2 gigahertz and 128 gigs of RAM. I think we're good, guys, on this host for 6.7. We've got 16 300 gig drives. I didn't even set them up in RAID though, so I doubt I'll be able to see them as a visible data store. Like I said, I'm more just wanting to mess around with E6i, see the new version, see what it says. Navigate the new GUI, the web GUI, is going to be very interesting to see because apparently there's changes, quite a few of them to it. Joe, if you can find the E6i installer, let me know. That was one of my things. I couldn't find the E6i installer for 6.7. Whenever I was going back here, it kept just trying to tell me to download 6.5, and it wasn't until we actually were able to go in and look at custom ISOs here, and that's when it actually let me download a 6.7. But here it says it's 6.7, but it sends you over here. And mind you, that's with a free license account. That's not with a paid license account or support contract. So all right, we've got E6i 6.7 installing. I got no warning about CPU. I want you guys to know, which I thought was very interesting. So no warning on the new 6.7 on the Lenovo. So it just got to be something with the R410. Maybe it's just the Dells. Maybe it's I do have some of the older. I guess I could try the HPs too, the Gen 6s. I think they run these same procs as the R510s, R410s. Yeah, I've thought about buying like a QNAP or something, like something for a direct access storage, but I haven't found any that I'm happy with that come with what I want and are quiet. I guess I'm being very picky, you could say. All right, while that is loading and installing, I'm gonna go get me more Kool-Aid. While I was out there, I got 2 dogs with me too, guys, so you may see some dogs walking around. The black one is Jude, the brown one is Stark. All right, 98. That install went way faster than the R410. That was quick and dirty. All right, and it did see 2 data stores, so it looks like I had previously actually set up a RAID on this system. You know, I gotta say, I think Linus would really be proud that I put 128 gigs of RAM in a system just to test an operating system. What do you think, buddy, huh? Was a good boy. Oh, hey, puppies. So we've got the system reinitializing right now. Let it do its thing. It'll take a little bit of time. And once it's up, hopefully we'll get a DHCP address. May need to set the management NIC. Who knows? Hopefully get DHCP, though, and then we can hop in and we'll take a look, see this new fancy web GUI that everybody's all excited about. All right. Go over here. Sorry, guys, just checking a few things to make sure everything's running right on the stream. All right. Everything's looking good. Gonna let this guy boot. You guys need to go outside or what? Is that what this is about? Oh, I see that happy dance. You want to go outside? Okay. I gotta let the dogs out real quick, guys. I'll be back. You guys might hear some barking. This should hopefully be booted into ESXi when I get back. Guess we'll find out, right? You guys want to go outside? Alright, I am back from letting the dogs out. So let's see what it does here. Just going to continue letting it boot. That install was fast, but man, these boot times. There we go. ESXi is loaded now. Awesome. What version is that, Joe? I'm not seeing an image, but I see what you're saying. All right. Here we go. This is just the first one. This is the tease bar. Now we're on to the next bar. Let's see here now. Let's get ready to hop in this thing once it gets an IP. May need to set its NICs like I was saying earlier, management. We'll see what happens. Almost there. Come on. Sweet, got an IP. Let's hop on in. All right. Look at that, guys. Right there. Says we're running 6-7. Interesting. Let me go ahead and downsize this real quick so you guys can kind of see everything that I'm seeing. All right. So, we're running on 6-7. That's awesome. Finally got it. Now, one of the things I noticed right when I came here, and I wonder... There was no option. I don't know if you guys noticed. So, and I can't remember if this is on 6.5 or not, but it takes you right into the host. There's no option to download vCenter. There's no options for anything. It's straight, you know, there's no options for which version you want to get into or anything. It's directly in. Interesting. All right, well. Now I want to see what else we can do. I kind of want to try out this vCenter. Let's update some vCenter now. Might as well while we're here. All right. That's fine, Putty. Close the session. Let's go ahead and let's find that download for the 6.7. And 1 second. I actually have a call coming I gotta take. Sorry about that, guys. Wife called to let me know she's on the way home. I could have swore we just downloaded it. Let's do vCenter 6.7. Let's see if we can find it. What's 6.5U1? I see where I downloaded the update 4.6.5, but we need 6.7. This could be proof a little interesting to try to find. Well, doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find it right now. That's alright, though. It looks like there's a 6.7 operations manager. So I'm going to download that, check that out. That looks like fun. So about a couple minutes left for this to download. And we can try this OVA on. I mean, that does say 6.7. Released on 4/12/2018. Sorry about that. Decided to mute my mic instead of cough on it, you know? Figured that was a nice thing to do for you guys. Alright. I'm sorry this download's taking its sweet time. Even with 1 gig, you still gotta wait. Actually, let's see here. How's it been doing? Health has been good. That's good. Well, well, I have to say 6.7 doesn't look any different, but I do want to throw up this 6.7 appliance and throw it in there, throw the host in there and see, you know, how things interact. I actually want to see if the appliance, just like current vCenter, you know, if you install 6.5, has both if you want to do the Flash or HTML version. So I'm very interested to see if they've got rid of that, if it's still there when you get in on vCenter. And it almost looks like, and the rumors are true, at the beginning of this video I was talking about how I was told possibly that they're removing vCenter altogether for Windows, and that it's only going to actually be an application appliance that, you know, it'll only be released as an OVA that then you'll actually have to use and install as a virtual machine. So it's going to be very interesting going forward to see how VMware is going to be handling that, especially since I know a lot of people run their vCenter and such on a physical machine. They don't actually always put it in their stack, so we'll have to see. We're almost done there. We got about less than 30 seconds left to get this downloaded, and then I can upload it into my stack here. I guess I'll throw it on the Office network. Got just a few seconds left. Let's go ahead and deploy an OVF. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and accept that. vCenter 6.7 test. That's fine. Let's go with small. Let's throw it on the right network. Let's throw it on the office network, actually. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave everything blank. I'll let DHCP handle it itself. Power it on after deployment. Let me drag this over here so you guys can watch its progress. So any of those that haven't deployed a virtual appliance, it's really that easy. If you want to do vCenter and you actually don't want to have to use Windows, it's that easy. You just download the OVA, go up here up to the file, deploy OVF template, find it, and follow the simple instructions, and then tell it to power on. From here, it'll take care of itself. You'll notice down here now, I actually have a VM called that. When I named it earlier, it's going to go ahead and just take the next minute, 2 minutes to upload itself, get itself on the data store, and from there, then it'll power it on, and I can actually then go ahead and set everything up. We can get over to its website once VMware Tools kicks in and gives us an IP, and we can go ahead and add this IBM I got sitting over here, this 3650 M4 into it, and check it out. This is when it pays to have a really fast storage system and a really nice network, because then you can get, you can deploy these systems pretty fast. To me, that's not that bad for having to deploy a vCenter appliance. We just downloaded, what, 2.2 gigs, got it fully uploaded and everything in about 10 to 12 minutes. That's pretty good time. I'm pretty proud of that with the systems that I have set up here. All right, it's finishing it up. There we go. Now look, it's going to power it on for us. We can come over here and do summary. So look, here's all the information. We've got quad CPU, memory. I wonder what host it stuck it on. All right, so we're just waiting for it to get an IP. We'll bring it up over here. Here it is booting. So once this gets booted up, then we can actually go back to Chrome, and I'll hop back over and type in the IP address, and we can add in that machine and take a look at 6.7 appliance interacting with the 6.7E6i host, see if there's any differences, see if they still have, an HTML5 and Flash, or if it's just one. Been monitoring PF since this whole time too, because since it runs as a VM, I like to see its CPU usage. It's been sticking about 9 to about 16%, somewhere in there. It's not too bad, I feel like, for everything I've got going on here, along with live streaming at a really high bit rate, so that way I can get 1080p up to YouTube properly, so that way there's no lag and no issues. We're just waiting for this thing to boot now. Go ahead and sign out get off our CMC here. Just waiting. I'm actually surprised how long this is taking to boot right now. I wonder if they changed anything, or I do see the install sh, so it's probably running the script of what we just deployed it as. Let it needs to do its thing, so I'm gonna have to wait. Well, that does that. Everything's running good there. Let me shut the door over here onto Radio Shack. Grab a quick drink. Check this camera battery over here. Maybe it's done charging, maybe not. Nope, still charging. That's alright. We'll let it finish. Continue just letting the appliance go. Sorry, it's taking it some sweet time, but let it do its thing. I'm gonna go make sure the dogs are good and still outside and haven't ran off. Don't need to be dealing with that today. And of course, I go outside and they're running everywhere. You dogs having fun? It's a good boy, Start. You guys stay in the yard, all right? Are you going inside? Okay. Lily, they left you outside. 2 of the dogs came in, 1 stayed out. All right. Still no movement on this, huh? Ah, there we go. Let's check out and see how Aura Home Lab's doing today. Wait for it to finish booting. Interesting. All right, there we go. We're up and running. So for those of you that haven't seen the Operations Manager appliance, here you go. So let's go over here. Let's get to 2161. All right. So TPM support, apparently A6i includes it in 6.7, which is very interesting. Because if that is true, does that mean then we can encrypt the hosts? I'm very interested to see. There's only one comment right now. Oh, look, the guy actually answered his own question, apparently. Interesting. In order to run virtual TPMs, you will need VM encryption. That means you'll need a third-party key management infrastructure in place. Interesting. See all the little interesting things we get to learn about whenever you get on our home lab? Everybody's got like their own kind of like vision and their own idea with what they want to learn and everything else. It's fantastic because we can all learn from each other and just see what these passions and what they want to go after, what interests them. I've been really digging the Grafana dashboards. Those have been pretty awesome. I wish I had the time to, or I guess I should say I wish I would make the time for me to do one of those. I really need to. Taking its sweet time to run this. Something tells me, though, I installed Operations Manager, not vCenter. Because when you go here, here's the VMware vCenter server. And I don't see vCenter 6.7 appliance. Yeah, Grafana's been on my to-do list for a while. I've got a couple of buddies that they're all over it, and I've been meaning to, but I've been dealing with so much other things. And then when I did take time off this week, but like I said, my daughter ended up getting strep. Now my wife possibly has it, so very much trying to figure that all out and make sure they're good. And I wish I could figure out where this download was for 6.7. The vCenter vServer appliance is not the default deployment. Interesting. Oh, see, look, there it is. Ended general support for vSphere 5.5 in September 19th, 2018. I was talking about that earlier, so you know, nobody still is on 5.5 or anything, help them out. Help them get upgraded. Let's see if we can find this download link that it does not want to give us. It sends us in a circle, which I don't like. Interesting. So it looks like I'm going to have to There's several U1s. U1G. Interesting. All right, well, on that note, guys, since I'm going to have to use a actual other account and everything, I'm going to end up calling it. I'm going to go get me some food, and my wife's about to be home. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for the subs, guys. Thanks for the likes on the video. Hopefully I can do this more often. Hopefully I can get some more time. I do have some other videos I'm going to work on, like I said earlier, how to upgrade ESXi and how to upgrade vCenter and how to, upgrade ESXi a couple different ways, USB from the remote access console and from vCenter. So, but until next time, guys, I'll see you in the lab. Thanks for watching.